There's a lot to talk about in the NBA right now. SGA and Tyrese had clutch wins last night. What the hell? The Dallas Mavericks are getting Cooper Flagg. The NBA might be rigged. And we finally got some news regarding Jayson Tatum and his lower leg injury. So stay tuned. Pacers Cavs Game 5. I just want to start with this. Donovan Mitchell is a warrior. Talk about a guy who's willing to go out and die on his shield. This guy played the last 2 games with only one ankle. I think he sprained his left ankle in, what was it, Game 2 or Game 3? But he understood the moment. He knows that his team cannot compete at a high level without him, and so despite him being injured, he decided to play through it. And that he did. He was the leading scorer in that first half despite being inefficient, but his team played well enough to where it was okay. He didn't really get going though until that fourth quarter. You could see as he was driving to the paint, he was still doing it, don't get me wrong, he was still doing it. But you could tell he didn't want the Pacers to see that he was hurting, but it was visible. He would just like clench his lips and like make tight fists. The guy was in a lot of pain, and even still, he hit this 3, and then he hit this 3. And they were very much in this game, despite the rest of his team playing pretty horribly. And then this happened. He got fouled on the 3-point attempt. I don't know if it was the nerves or maybe even mental fatigue from trying to stay tough, but it was bad. The guy missed all 3 free throws, and his team really needed it. That was really what I thought was going to be their last chance to stay in the game. And then he hit this 3, and it was cool. I was like, maybe they could do it. But unfortunately for him, Darius Garland had himself a stinker. Really, he hasn't had a single good game this series. He finished with 11 points on a 4 of 16 shooting. He also went 0 for 6 from 3. Mobley was good though. He had 24 points and 11 rebounds as well as 2 blocks. Max Strus actually texted the team group chat this morning talking about, if you don't believe that we can actually come back, don't show up to work. And then he proceeded to shoot 0 for 9. So yeah, there's that. Ty Jerome has really struggled this postseason. Every time I check Twitter, I swear he's just trending and just like Cavs fans just bashing this guy, and rightfully so. The guy has not been hooping. I think for the large majority of the season, he shot 44% from 3. Regular season, mind you, I get it, it's the regular season, but this postseason, the guy has been terrible. Really bad. It's been so bad that Coach Kenny Atkinson can't even really justify playing him a whole lot of minutes. And today they needed to spark off the bench. So, you know, Donovan Mitchell needed some rest because of his ankle. Darius Garland, as I said earlier, wasn't playing at a high level. Well, what do you have to lose? Max Strus is 0 for 9. They threw him in there in that fourth quarter. He played 11 minutes today. And you know what? He did good. He did really good. I was surprised. He had 2 pretty huge threes that kept him in the game. And if it had not been for, well, everybody else playing like shit, maybe they had a chance to win tonight. But regardless, let's be real. They're down 3-1. Everyone knew it was inevitable. This isn't LeBron and Kyrie. The Pacers are winning the series. Jared Allen, I didn't notice him much this game, and when I did, he looked lost. Throughout his career, he seems to really shy away in these playoff games, and is kind of getting concerning. If you're the Cavs, maybe this summer you move on from him and then move Evan Mobley to the center position. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. DeAndre Hunter, he had a super tough 3. Listen, him and Benedict with Theron have this little beef thing going on, and I know he was feeling himself. It was a really tough 3. The offense was really slowing down at that moment, and I could tell he was feeling himself. Hey, it was tough. At halftime, the Cavs led 56-52. They went 19 for 39, 48% from the field, 1 for 11, 9% from 3. They shot 85% from the free throw line, 21 rebounds, 3 offensive ones, 8 defensive ones, 1 steal, 7 turnovers, 10 fouls, 7 fast break points, and a lead as large as 19 and 34 points in the paint. Donovan Mitchell was their leading scorer in the first half. Mitchell had 16 points. As for the Pacers, they shot 17 of 42, 40% from the field, 8 of 20 from 3, 40% from 3. They shot 15 free throws and shot 66% from the free throw line, had 21 rebounds, only 4 being offensive ones and 17 being defensive ones, 4 steals, 7 turnovers, 16 fouls, 3 fast break points, and their largest lead was 2. They had 14 points in the paint, and their leading scorer at halftime was Tyrese Halliburton with 17 points. The guy couldn't miss. And speaking of Tyrese Halliburton did exactly what he was supposed to do. He understood the moment, and he recognized how important it was to not let the series drag out. He did everything his team needed from him today, I'll be honest. He even earned himself a shout out from King James on X saying, "Hallie fucking hoopin'. Where are the lames who said he was overrated? Quiet as hell. That boy nice, and even more, someone everyone would love to play with." Damn, Bron, just tag me next time. This felt personal. I had my you know, I felt type of way about Tyrese earlier on the season. I've been on record calling him overrated, saying him and Pascal Siakam just don't have enough star power to make it far into the postseason. And guess what? Was I partially wrong? Maybe. Do I think they're going to get whooped by the Knicks? Absolutely. They don't play defense. They don't. I can't trust a team in the playoffs that doesn't play defense. We saw that last year with Luka Doncic and Kyrie in the playoffs, and I'm not falling for it again. As for the rest of the team, Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard also killed today. So yeah, this is huge for the Pacers. They're now going to their second conference finals in just 2 years, and they get some rest before they likely inevitably play the New York Knickerbockers. Tyrese finished with 31, 8, and 6, and Donovan Mitchell finished with 31, 9, and 4 steals. Final score, 114 to 105. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button below, because if you don't, I'm going to personally make sure that Nico Harrison is your next GM. And trust me, nobody wants that. Okay, now on to what I thought was a much more anticipated game. Game 5 of OKC versus Denver. It was a good game. At halftime, Denver led 56 to 54, and OKC shot 48% from the field, 35.7% from 3, 77% from the free throw line, had 17 rebounds, 2 offensive ones, 15 defensive ones, 12 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks, 6 turnovers, 12 fast break points, 28 points in paint, 6 fouls, and a lead as large as 10 points. Shea was their leading scorer with 17 points at the half. As for Denver, at halftime, they were shooting 46% from the field, 35% from 3, 75% from the free throw line, had 27 rebounds, 7 offensive ones, 20 defensive ones, 13 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks, 10 turnovers, 9 fast break points, 30 points in paint, 11 fouls, and a lead as large as 11. Jokic was also on a burner. He had himself 19 points at halftime. For OKC, I don't even know where to start. They had themselves a great team effort. Everybody talks about how they're so inexperienced, but today, I couldn't tell. SGA was special. Real special. J-Dub hit a big 3. Chet had a huge block. Lou Dort also made a really huge 3. Once he just saw one go in, he just didn't stop. He just kept shooting and shooting, and his teammates trusted him. When they needed a bucket, it seemed like he always delivered. And that goes for the rest of the team as well. Also, what helped is during clutch time, SGA proved himself to be a superstar. He was unstoppable. He had a tough and one that I thought really just put the dagger on the neck today on Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray didn't think he fouled him, but what's new? I've never seen an NBA player just admit to fouling somebody. It doesn't happen. Michael Porter Jr. Listen up. The guy's playing with a really badly injured shoulder. I remember last week they were saying something about him not even being able to lift his shoulder up to eye level, which is really concerning. I respect him a whole lot for trying to fight through this injury and be there for his team, but damn it, the guy shot 1 for 7. He had 2 points tonight. That is a recipe for disaster. You're typically not going to win a playoff game with your starter and one of your best players on the team only making 2 points. It's just not happening, especially against a team as talented as Oklahoma. Even still, it was a nail-biter of a game, and it came close thanks to Nikola Jokic's heroics. The guy was doing it however he wanted. I remember I think he had the ball at the key at some point off a Jamal Murray handoff, and the dude literally, I don't even know how to explain it, and the dude spinned off like a fadeaway one-legged three-pointer, and it was just nothing but net. When he's on a heater like that, there's really nothing you can do. There's no answer defensively. The guy just gonna get his bucket. But unfortunately for Denver fans, he was the only one that seemed to have it going, and Oklahoma had everybody going. They're deep. Real deep. Also, one quick thing I wanted to note was in that fourth quarter, Oklahoma has outscored Denver 62 to 36 over the last 2 games. That's really, really bad. Looks to me like Oklahoma might be experienced after all. Anyways, Jokic finished with 44 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and SGA had 31 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Final score, 112 to 105. The Boston Celtics. The Celtics are in a whole lot of trouble. In Game 4, Jayson Tatum made a play diving for the ball, and he collapsed. He was holding his lower leg, and a lot of people were speculating whether it's an Achilles injury or maybe even an ankle injury. He was just holding his lower leg. It was hard to tell. And after his MRI today, it was indeed an Achilles rupture. Watching it live, it was pretty obvious. The sports doctors were all over it on Twitter. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Sorry, dude. Prayers out to Jayson Tatum. As for Kristaps Porzingis is scheduled to play in Game 5. His mystery illness, I'm not sure what it is. People think it's his stomach, saying he feels sick. It's a sickness for sure. He looks really pale out there. I don't think he's healthy. There's no way this guy is healthy. He's just probably fighting out there for his team. I wouldn't count on a whole lot of production out of him, even if he does manage to play heavy minutes. Also, Sam Hauser's ankle injury has him listed as probable, but it's the playoffs, so that pretty much means they're going to tape him up and just throw him out there anyway, especially considering how shorthanded they are. If you're the Celtics, you're down 3-1. realistically, you're cooked. We saw what happened to the Cavs, who were down 3-1 yesterday. You have two options here. You roll over and give up, but knowing Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics, that's not what's going to happen. You guys are probably going to fight like your life depends on it. And for some of you, it probably does. Jaylen Brown's going to have to step up in a real way if they're going to actually make any push to overcome this deficit. Listen, I'm not a hater. I'm a Heat fan, so I have a reason to hate the Boston Celtics. But honestly, I'm rooting for you guys. You guys are going through a lot right now. But even still, I'm not confident in Jaylen Brown as a number one option. I'm just not. Even without Jayson Tatum, you guys are so deep that I think you could compete with the Knicks. But just on such short notice, I have no faith. I'll be real. I have no faith. I could be proven wrong, but I'm not sure even the most sincere Boston fans really believe they have a chance going forward in this series. So, me personally, I think you just should let this series end. I think even if you wanted to win this next game, you probably couldn't. But if you get a chance to, roll over and let it end, man. Don't risk any more injuries. Jaylen Brown's on a super max contract, getting paid like $300-something million. You're gonna have to move Drew Holiday, probably also Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Sam Hauser, because you're the most expensive team in the history of the game. Boston, you have a real problem, man. You're gonna have to blow this team up a little bit. This was your time to win this last championship before things collapsed, and it's really, really unfortunate you guys didn't win those first two games. And even more unfortunate what happened to Jayson Tatum, man. This is really, really disappointing. And the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks have acquired their first overall pick, so really what I should be saying is that Dallas Mavericks and Nico Harrison have saved their asses and gotten themselves Cooper Flagg. Because let's be real, he's the number one pick. No one comes close. Cooper averaged 19, 7, and 4 at Duke. But that's in college, so those are pretty ridiculous numbers. I don't think it's just not a competitive draft. It's not a good draft. It's Cooper Flagg, and then everybody else kind of feels like a whole lot of nobodies. I'll be real, I'm not super into college basketball. I think it's slow and boring. A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people don't agree with me. I know March Madness is hype, but I don't know. I just don't like the sets. I think it's too slow. There's not enough shooting. You're forcing just like center post-ups from centers who don't have good footwork and can't really post up, and it's just a lot of weird motions going on. I don't like it. It's boring, it's stale. Also in college, my basketball team kind of sucked, so that might have something to do with it. But Cooper Flagg is legit, man. He played some scrimmages with Team USA and really dominated. I heard a story that he almost beat the Team USA starters with just a team of nobodies. Dallas acquiring Cooper Flagg wasn't supposed to happen. They had a 1% chance, maybe it was even less than a 1% chance of acquiring the number one pick, and it happened. So a lot of people think what really is going on is the NBA is rigged. Is it okay? Do you guys think it's a coincidence that the year that the Dallas Mavericks and Nico Harrison trade Luka freaking Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for practically a bag of chips is the same year that they get the first pick with odds that were a 1% or less? $1. If you put $1 on the Dallas Mavericks acquiring the number one pick, do you know how much you would make? You'd make $200. $200. We heard LeBron talk about this a little bit on the Pat McAfee show. I don't think I said his name right. How do you say it? I don't know how to say Pat McAfee's name. I think I said it right. I don't know. But we heard him talk about it on Pat's show, and he says, like, it's pretty blatantly obvious. He was like, is it a coincidence that I'm from Cleveland and my hometown team drafted me? I don't think so. And he mentioned Derrick Rose, South Chicago. He gets drafted by the Bulls. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. And then now Cooper Flagg to the Dallas Mavericks. This is getting weird. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it's rigged entirely, but it doesn't take a genius to know that something is off here. And on that note, that's what I think about everything going on right now. But you let me know if you think OKC could really go on to win this series in the comments below. Also, let me know if you think the NBA is rigged, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this new format. I'm trying something new with the channel, kind of in my SDC, Zach Lee, Kenny Beecham bag, if you know what I'm talking about. Real ones out there know. Also, feel free to check out my newsletter, Roby Report. If you enjoy the content and also enjoy reading, that's going to be a great place for you to also keep in touch with the NBA, NFL, UFC, and really every sport I enjoy. If there's any interest at all, I'm thinking I'll probably start posting 1 to 2 articles a week. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter over there. I'll be putting the link to Roby Report in the description below. It's also attached to my social media links on my homepage. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn those noties on. Matista signing out.